So look at verse 21. Yahweh said, there is a place by me, right here.
Wow.
It's a place, but look where that place is. It's not the face of the Father.
Okay.
It's the face of intimacy, and it's the face of irresistible presence. And if you keep returning to that place by Yahweh, you will stand upon a rock.
Wow. What a rock.
You won't stand waiting for your wife's approval, or your daughter's approval, or your son's approval. I don't care if I had my son's approval. I wasn't born for his approval.
Amen.
All right, man.
Am I angry at my son? No. That's for me to know and for you to figure out. But thank goodness I don't trust waiting for him to return. If he's the prodigal son, I'll praise Yahweh the day he returns.
Hashem Yahweh.
But I'm not trusting in his return. What are you trusting in today? Some people's hearts are so hardened they can't even receive. Look what Yahweh is saying here. There is a place by me, and you shall stand on her. If you get into that irresistible place where he attracts you more than anything in this world, any person, place, or thing, career, you will stand on a rock. There's a place with him where you'll be standing. And we know the rock is 1 Corinthians 10, 4 and 5. We know the rock is Mashiach. Verse 22, and if you're standing on the rock of Mashiach, look at verse 22. It shall come to pass that while my Tiferet passes by you, I will put you in a cleft of the rock, and I will cover you with my hand while I pass by. So there's an intimate place with Yeshua where you stand on a rock. You're in a cleft of a rock, meaning, what does it mean, a cleft of a rock? What does a cleft mean?
Corner.
A crack, a space, a corner. But what's cool about a cleft? Nothing else can get into that cleft except
Once
Yahweh.
you're there. Wow.
Once you're there, that's your place.
Wow.
When you get into that irresistible presence, it's yours and no one can pull you out of that place.
Nice.
Arguments? No. Yelling, demands, pressure, stress.
I'm in the cleft. Wow.
You know when people give up trying to pull your chain?
Told.
When they find out that your chain's not connected to the belt. People will say things and push your buttons because they're waiting for you like the proverbial monkey to just do the dance. Okay, my wife knows me well enough, and I know her well enough, and we know each other how to push each other's buttons. So if I want to get her happy, I push this button. If I want to get her upset, I push that button. Vice versa. If she's in a bad mood and she wants to drag me down to where she is, she knows exactly what button to push. The button of insecurity, the button of whatever. Whatever button she knows that number. Yeah? But when people push your buttons and you're still in peace, you're still like, nothing they say or do can change you because you're stuck in the cleft of the rock, in that place by him, and nothing can move you because you're literally stuck. Cleft of the rock means you're in a little crevice or crack and you're stuck and you can't get out. But better than that, help, you haven't fallen. B, you can get up, but you don't want to get up and get out.
Exactly.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Because there's nothing happening in the bedroom or in the kitchen or down the street that's better than what's happening in the cleft of the rock.
Amen.
Will most believers get there? No. And that's the struggle. We're already saved. We're already his disciples. But that's the struggle. That is our struggle. Verse 22. It shall come to pass, while my Tiferet passes by, I will put you in the... Notice, Yahweh, we find his presence irresistible. We come to his presence. He puts us in the cleft of the rock. And will cover you with my hand while I pass by. Now, in other words, in that cleft of the rock, in that special place, listen to this. If we want his face more than any physical face on earth, or physical thing on earth, he takes his hand, he covers us, so our eyes and our ears and our mouth is not damaged. Because all we're doing is seeing him. He's so irresistible that we see nothing else. Make sense?
Amen.
He covers us with his hand. But the covering is for two reasons. The covering is so we don't see his face. But the only thing we see is his panaim. You get it?
His face is presence.
The hand is to cover us from the pain of this life. So that the only thing we see is his panaim, but not his physical face. So in other words, you and I were created to live and to thrive without physical faces and their approval, and without the Father's face, because we're not going to see the Father's face. And Yahweh wants to get to the place in your life where you realize that other people's faces are like the Father's face. You're not going to live and see it.
Amen.
If you keep, and that's what Yahweh told Yirmiyahu. Say, Yirmiyahu, you want to be a teacher? You want to be a preacher? You want to be a prophet? Very good. Here's where we start. Rule number 1. Start talking the words of Yahweh and don't look at their faces. Because you can't be a believer and thrive in the kingdom and constantly be looking at other people, how they're reacting to you. But when you're in Yahweh's presence, you don't care how other people react, because you're not seeking their approval. There's an irresistible presence, and you already have his approval. And when you go, he goes with you, wherever you go.
Cold.
But then when you go, he goes. But then when you stop spending time with him, he goes.
Continues.
He goes. And now you're stuck. So he says, I will cover you with my hand while I pass by. So what is the irresistible presence? It is a place where we are firm and cemented, where Yahweh is always passing by us to be with us, till we experience his power, his wind, and his presence. Oh, excuse me, I can't talk right now because Yahweh is passing by. I'll call you back. Wouldn't that be neat if we got into that kind of mindset? Hey, listen, I know I got an appointment at the dentist's office, but I have to cancel my appointment because it's in half an hour right now. I'm in the cleft. I'm hearing from Yahweh. I'm getting some clear direction in his irresistible presence. I have to cancel my appointment because Yahweh is passing by. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine being in that place? I can't. I'm not there yet. I'd rather pay the $25 cancellation fee. Do not bother me. Yahweh is passing by. There's a special clarity. There's a special empowerment of forgiveness. I'm in his presence. Yahweh's covering me from the pain of the last few days. I have to cancel my dentist appointment. Would to Yahweh we could all get to that place.
Amen.
But I'm determined. So if I don't know where this is going to take me. I hope not taps. But see, that's my gift to Yahweh, because he's made and favored me across the world over these last 20 years. People read my writings across the world in many languages. He's had great favor in my life. So what can I do? He doesn't need my money. He doesn't need my house. He doesn't need my kitchen. This is my little way of giving him praise and glory. I come in here and I just play for him. I play better than in private than I do with all y'all looking around anyway. It's a lot easier. But I wasn't playing for 3 weeks, so Yahweh be praised. Look at verse 23. I will take away my hand. Look at verse 23. I will take away my hand, and you shall see my back.
Amen.
But my face will never be seen. Okay, so here I'm a human being. I'm in a quandrum. I should not trust in faces of human beings. But on the other hand, Yahweh will not let me see his face. So what should be my response? Dayenu. Yahweh, I will settle for your irresistible presence. Dayenu. Dayenu. Dayenu, Dayenu, Dayenu.